And as always, your views and comments are welcome on the show. Look for us on our social media handles. Join us on TV, on Facebook, and on Twitter. We'll be glad to share your thoughts with the rest of the world. Once again, you're welcome. My name is Francis Aban. Now, a research fellow at the Institute of Democratic Governance, IDEC, Kwesi Jonah, has warned against pockets of violence being witnessed in some parts of the country in the lead-up to the general elections. He says Ghana's election is just too fraught with issues prior to the election day, causing a lot of unnecessary tension, which can actually be avoided. He was speaking at a Business Integrity Forum today. The program brought together business partners from the telecommunications, mining, and commerce sectors to discuss the impact of elections on the private sector.
That is associated with the 2016 elections is just too high. And when you have money to invest and there is no peaceful, you don't have peaceful and stable conditions within which to do the investment, it's very worrying. You have to wait, sit on the fence and wait to see that the tensions, little tensions that you are observing will not explode into something big before you invest your money. And so that is what many of them are doing. You listen to the Ghana Investment Promotion Center woman. He says, so many people come to make the inquiries and they stay behind. So this is the problem that we get when we have so much tension surrounding our elections. I think the time has come for us to approach elections in a much more peaceful way. Keep fit exercises, they fight. Voter transfer, they fight. Campaign, they fight. Everything, they fight. And so when you are an investor, you have $25 million in your pocket and you want to put it in the Ghanaian economy, what will you do? I will wait and see till all this tension has subsided, then I will decide whether I want to invest or not. This is what is happening.
How bad will this be for the country?
It will be very, very bad for this country. Every year, so many young people are coming out of our academic and training institutions who have no jobs. And so long as the investors are keeping their money, they are not setting up the companies. No employment. So long as they are keeping their money in their pocket, no taxes, they won't pay any tax to anybody. So long as they keep their money in their pocket, they won't buy goods and services for the company and so on and so forth. It is very, very bad for the economy.
We have just about 3 weeks to the elections. Do you think this tension you talk about can be calmed before?
I am not so sure whether we can calm it down, but anything that we can do to reduce the tension, the better it will be for the country.
Such as?
Well, such as the police, the government doing away with impunity. If somebody commits an offense, don't look at the particulars the person is wearing. Prosecute that person, put him or her into jail, and other people will learn a lesson from it. If you don't, it continues.
Well, that's for the local perspective on this matter of violence and its effects on the private sector. The executive director of the European business in Ghana, Nico Van, said the tension sometimes scares them away and advised politicians to be circumspect in their discussions, especially in the media.
Like the average Ghanaian politician is saying, it scares them off. It tells them, oh, so the country is so corrupt. Oh, so this party doesn't know how to run the economy. Oh, so this party is creating labor unrest. And that scares them. And after the elections, they are trying to pamper what they've said before the elections, especially if there's a change of political party in power. And it's mostly not the flag bearers and the top echelon of the parties, but either they are incapable of controlling, let's say, the lower parts on especially the shouting parts, and I don't have to call names because every party has a few of them, but they get the free hand, and that free hand scares investors, especially, like I said, European investors. Look at a newspaper stand. You see always all the people shouting and screaming who are getting the front page, and the ones, the moderate people are not even heard of because the newspapers are going for the sensation.
Per the words of Mr. Nico Van, the said him I won't mention, too long. I won't risk even getting into trouble with that name. But the essence of what he's saying is that many a times the politicians begin to make comments that seem to scare investors away for the future. But let's hope that the admonition for politicians to be a little circumspect in these times is taken well by the parties and their leaders, so we see a change in the kind of discourse we see in the media today. Still speaking of elections, the Electoral Commission, the body charged with preparing everything for the December 7 presidential and parliamentary elections, has started dispatching the presidential notice of poll to the various regions across the country. The EC says it had also started printing the presidential ballot papers for the upcoming elections. Well, my colleague Maxwell has been speaking to the Deputy Head of Communications at the Electoral Commission, Yusuf Ayuba, for more on what exactly the process is.
The notice of poll for presidential is ready. We've started dispatching them to the region. So that for presidential is ready. Likewise, the parliamentary, which was ready long time, and it's even been posted, around the constituencies.
And then also we got an indication, or we heard that you've started printing the presidential ballot papers. How true is that information also?
Yeah, it's true. We are currently, the first process is to print the notices of poll. Since that is done, we've moved into the printing of the ballot papers. So as I speak, the various printing houses are printing the ballot papers for the presidential elections. And we have all the political party representatives and the security agencies, the staff of Electoral Commission at all the various printing houses that are doing the printing of the presidential ballots.
Okay, so what mechanisms are you putting in place so that we do not have the incident that happened in Ashanti region where the MPP is complaining that they do not have the abbreviation of the party beneath the party logo? What mechanisms have you put in place this time around to make sure that you've cross-checked and double-checked?
That issue is very clear. We have all the political party symbols with us. If you register your political party, it means that you must bring your symbol. We have it. That particular issue of the abbreviation of the name NPP under their symbol does not exist in all the correspondence that we have with NPP as a political party. There was a suggestion that since it did not contain that, when we are printing the presidential notices of poll, we should make sure that we include the abbreviation NPP under the symbol. So it is not that the Electoral Commission made a mistake. It is the official position or the official symbol that the New Patriotic Party uses, that we use in printing the parliamentary notices of poll. But if you realize that most of the political parties have the abbreviation of their name under their symbol. So they also suggested that in printing the presidential notices of poll, we should put the abbreviation, the NPP, under the symbol, and also when we start printing the ballots, we should put it. So we've taken that in good faith, and we've done it on the notice of poll.
So for all the parliamentary candidates in this country, for the NPP, they're not going to have the abbreviation NPP under the logo of the party?
Yes, because that is what they have as a symbol, and therefore, as at the time we were printing the notices of poll for the parliamentary elections, that was what was in existence.
And that had a carryover effect also on the parliamentary ballot paper.
Yes, I mean that is what we had as a commission. That was a symbol that was given to us, and that was what we used. It was after we had finished printing the notices of poll for the parliamentary and also the ballots that they made this suggestion that we should include, the abbreviation of the name New Patriotic Party (NPP) under the symbol. So we've done that for the presidential notices of poll, and we'll do that on the ballot.
Okay. So when did printing start for the presidential ballot papers?
I cannot say it started yesterday or today, but we have started printing the presidential ballots.
Right then. So meanwhile, some voters who had lost their identity cards are actually rushing to the headquarters of the EC today to have them replaced. They say they are determined to exercise their franchise in the upcoming elections. Maxwell has more in this report.
A few days to Ghana's big day, and already electorates are gearing up to exercise their franchise in the upcoming 2016 elections. A lot of them have come here to get a replacement of their voters' ID card, to hear the presence of the Electoral Commission. They are in this queue waiting to get a replacement of what will give them that right to take part in this year's election. I have a couple of them here. Chief, kindly tell me your name and then where you are coming from and why you're here today.
My name is Razak Said. I came from Nima, and I'm here to come and replace my voter ID card because 2013, before I banned my voter ID card, my traveling passport, everything. But this 2016 general election, I must cast my vote because it's my right and it's my power. So, and I need it. So that is why I'm here today, to come and replace my voter ID card.
So what motivated you to come all the way from Nima to this place to get the voters' ID card so you can take part in the election at all costs?
Because I believe in Ghana, and I know that with my voter ID card, with my ID card, I can vote, and that vote can make everything possible in this country and this nation, and to vote for the right person to move this nation forward. So that is why I'm here today.
Although I lost my ID card, so it's 2016, we need to vote. So I want to replace my ID card so that I can have access to vote and bring change to Ghana, because now Ghana is too hard for us with the young boys. So we need to change for a better Ghana.
So that's why you're coming for your ID card to be replaced?
Yes, sir.
My name is Steven. I lost my voter's ID card some time back. And because of the upcoming elections that I want to participate in, I'm coming for a replacement of my card.
So, is it an election, or you just want to get an ID card just to do other things, or it's purposely for this year's elections?
I have other IDs that I use, but I'm doing this because of the elections. Yes.
Because of this year's elections?
Yes, please.
Not for any banking transaction?
No. I already have my bank account, so I'm okay.
Okay, so you heard from a cross-section of the public here, those gathered here actually at the premises of the Electoral Commission. They are saying that they are here to get a replacement of their ID card so they can take part in this year's election. One man, as you rightly, you heard him say, he says it is his right and he needs to take part in the election. The last man that I spoke to says he has other forms of IDs that he can use for his banking transactions, because usually the notion is that people would just want to come for their IDs for transactions in the bank and other, and other things. But he says that he has all of those IDs, but he just wants to take part in this year's elections. Reporting for Joy News, Maxwell Agbagba.
And talking about other issues to do with the elections, it's got everyone talking. The Christian Council of Ghana is also asking the various political parties contesting in this year's polls to publicly state their plan for collaboration with the church to help advance development. General Secretary of the Christian Council, Reverend Dr. Kwabno Opunifrimpong, says they are disappointed by the lack of any policy in the manifesto of the party so far. He was speaking earlier today on the AM show.
We cry for peace.
I'm Pastor Fred Digby of the Calvary Baptist Church. As we work towards another election, I want to particularly exalt politicians. It is a noble office you are seeking, and you must seek that office with a lot of integrity, with a lot of honesty. And hopefully, when you put your programs across, people will vote for you and they will support you because of your ideas and because of what you stand for. So you should not at any time try to buy vote, cheat people and lie, because your lies will be discovered. It will not help you. Be a man, a woman of your word. And that is what it takes to have people rallying around you. Many people have made promises and they've been held to ransom because of their promises. I'm not sure you want to go that route. And by the way, the electorate are getting wiser. They know those who are telling them stories that are almost incredible, that they can never believe. So don't do those things. Go there with honesty and integrity. With people behind you, Ghana will move to where we want it to be. As security agents, even though this is a civic thing, yet people decide to do all kinds of unnecessary things, even to the extent of threatening the peace of the nation. We are praying for you, we are praying with you. But we also want you to be free and fair and just before, during, and after the election, so that the peaceful atmosphere of this nation will be maintained and we can move ahead in progress. There are other agencies that work towards peace during the election. The courts will be opened. If there are any infractions, any challenges, they'll be there to listen to all of these things. So what we are saying is that basically everything has been put in place for us to have a successful election. Before the time comes, if there are any things that bother our mind, whether it's from the EC or the political parties, let's all talk about it and rectify it. But by all means, we've had many, many elections before. What has been our democratic dividend? It is Ghana being known as a country that has a peaceful election, has come out of it, even to the point of going to the Supreme Court. If we lose that, and I hope we don't, and I don't pray for it, if we do, it will be disastrous. And I know you don't want it. We won't want it. So let's work towards peace. God is on our side. All the institutions are working hard. And the miscreants will be smoked out. We should not let anybody take us for granted. The media, how can we leave you out? Never. Your role as watchdogs has been very, very essential. Going out there, being in the drains, reporting what is on time, what is not on time, and drawing the attention of all the key players to it. I hope you go there and do your part. Election observers and all the citizenry, let everyone do their part. And Ghana ultimately will be the winner. And we can move ahead in peace and progress for the Ghana that we all want. By God's grace, we will come out. Ghana will be the winner. Thank you for playing your part.
That's actually our peace message. Apologies for that mix-up there. We can now hear from the General Secretary of the Christian Council, Reverend Opuni Frimpong, talking about the need for political parties to have a clear-cut policy for development.
The churches and other religious bodies are key partners in our national development. Not the preaching side they do. 40% of all health facilities in this country, hospitals, clinics in this country today belong to the churches. They establish them, they are managing them under what we call Christian Health Association of Ghana, by Christian Council of Ghana and the Ghana Catholic Bishop Conference. 40%. Take Achimota out, and almost all the best second cycle institutions in Ghana belong to the churches. The churches acquired the land, established them, built the facilities. Government came in to support them in the administration. All the schools, the Presec, the Bree Girls, the Wesley Girls, the St. Roses, what's your former school?
Zion College.
You know, these are all churches, AME, Zion, and all that, you see. And they are still the best. Now the churches are into university education and all that. Governments are looking for PPP and all that. And foreign people walk in, and there are concessions, rebate, tax rebate for them. And you ask yourself, if you have this group of people who are making significant contribution in terms of employment, go to the churches, their various secretariats, and the number of Ghanaians who have been employed, secretaries, drivers, accountants, consultants in church projects, in their guest houses and all that. Look at the numbers and many more. And now you ask yourself, close to election, and nobody is talking about the Christian hospitals in Ghana. And they have problems, real problems. Sometimes, because of what I do, together with the Catholic Bishop, the General Secretary, we appoint the whoever runs the Christian Health Association. And sometimes there are threats, because you see, Christian hospitals, they don't go on strike. All Christian hospitals in Ghana. And so when government hospitals are on strike, you hear Minister of Health directing people to our hospitals. We take loans, to run our pharmacy department. And sometimes more than 10 months, National Health Insurance, you don't have your money. And how, church people, how do you run the hospital? Somebody must think about this. Now there's a real issue, church-government partnership in running mission schools. The churches feel that they've been sidelined. They've been complaining, not under the current administration. It's been there for long. And it's becoming worse every day. And the excitement, you know, we go to church, you should be able to convince somebody, let's give me money, let's establish new school. Now the members feel that, but you do this, what is Christian in our schools?
So that's the General Secretary of the Christian Council of Ghana, Reverend Dr. Opuni Frimpong, speaking earlier today on the AM show.